Are you frustrated that you haven't heard back from anyone despite spending hours completing an online application? Think about the logistics of having to personally respond to every applicant. An organization that can simply acknowledge a candidate's application should be commended for just that. To expect something more is to set yourself up for disappointment. Just like getting approval from your spouse to buy that new bicycle, a hiring manager, even a CEO in some cases, needs to have budgetary approval to fill an open position. Approval might be immediate, require a review, or be part of the proverbial job freeze, where organizations temporarily stop filling positions, frequently at the end of the fiscal year, only to be resurrected at the beginning of the next fiscal year when almost magically funding materializes where only red ink previously existed. This is a common frustration of a candidate where he might fret, she hasn't called, she hasn't written, when in reality, it might be more appropriate to say, she can't afford me yet. Another great example of why understanding the process is empowering. It's a very different situation when a manager tells you that you're at the top of her list but constrained by a hiring freeze than saying you're at the top of her list but she has more candidates to interview. The appropriate question is, if you're at the top of her list, why is she interviewing more candidates? As a candidate, there are lots of implications. Hopefully it's clear that there are many people involved in the process, which means more handoffs and opportunities for communication errors and delays. Add in multiple schedule conflicts from vacations, travel, and meetings, and the process becomes very complex very quickly. It's no wonder so many candidates don't hear from a company for months. It should also be clear that while hiring is important to everyone involved, it's only part of what they do every day. It's easy for you to make the assumption that everyone in the organization is doing nothing or should be doing nothing but considering your candidacy. And while a wonderful thought, a little distance from reality. Understanding what the process is, who owns it, and what the next steps are can sometimes be a little vague, even for the people running it. That's why it's so important for you to be the one that understands, owns, and keeps track of next steps, at least to the degree that you can get away with. After all, no one cares, or should care, more about the hiring of you than you. Some organizations are very forthcoming with their processes, next steps, and feedback, while others might simply say, "You'll be hearing from our people." As a candidate, you should ask at every stage, what's my status? What's the next steps? By whom? And when? After all, assuming you want the job, shouldn't you be the one invested in it?